If you take a group of runners that are all training for the same race, say they have 12 weeks to train for this race, the chance that at least half of that group of runners is going to get injured is very high. So running injuries are real. When you push your body to do new things, when you challenge it, your risk for injury is going to go up. Does this mean you shouldn't run at all? No, not at all. However, I think it's extremely important that you're educated about knowing how to identify what type of an injury you have and what you should do about it when aches and pains arise. So I think some people run into confusion where they don't always know when to scale back, how much to scale back, and if they should stop running at all. So that's why I'm making these videos. I think it's important to know that some types of injuries do really well getting better on their own and don't necessarily have to do a whole lot to make it better other than maybe rest for a couple days. There are other types of injuries, however, that you absolutely want to address early to avoid delays in recovery. When you look at just sometimes just general knee aches, knee sprains, acute back injuries, ankle sprains, those are all types of things that really typically do very well with just a little bit of rest. You almost never have to do rehab really to get better from those things. What types of injuries, though, do you need to address early as soon as symptoms start? These are the injuries that tend to linger for long periods of time. How many of you have struggled with persistent pain in your shin from shin splints, persistent plantar fasciitis, persistent issues with your hip? Those are areas of the body. When you start developing symptoms, early intervention is key. If you look at the length of time it takes an average person to recover from a bout of plantar fasciitis, it is bad, guys. It is between 6 to 12 months. If you address symptoms early with that particular type of an injury, you can shorten that length tremendously. If you look at some of the hip injuries that people develop from running, if you don't listen to your symptoms, typically one thing will lead to another and you will have symptoms for months on end. So what's my advice for these injuries that linger? Guys, if you develop any type of symptoms in your foot, your shin, or your hip, you want to get that addressed very early. You need to be able to identify what basic type of an injury you have, and also where to even begin to start to know what to do to help your symptoms. There are going to be some injuries where you're going to need to go see a professional, but there's also going to be injuries, a lot of injuries, that you're going to be able to take care of yourself if you're educated and you know what types of things to do. Everyone, every athlete, every runner should be able to perform a certain amount of maintenance on their body to prevent injuries or to keep an existing minor injury from becoming a major injury. If you had an issue with your electricity and all you needed to do was go turn your light switch on, would you want to call an electrician? No. There are definitely times where you don't need to go see a healthcare professional. That's what these videos are about. In the next several videos I'm going to make, we're going to go over what are some of the key differences to look for with various types of injuries. We're going to break it down into what does a tendon injury look like? What does a bone injury look like? What does it look like when there's nerve involvement? And what does it look like when you've really stirred up some symptoms in a joint? We're going to go through those things step by step and try to give you some tools to use to be able to take care of your own body and hopefully address small problems before they become much bigger ones.
If you like this video and would like to see more, please like and subscribe to my channel below.